Welcome to the BleedRedBlacks podcast.
Best fans in the league right here, baby!
With your hosts, Colin and Mike.
Susie Q.
Produced by Mark and Johnny Z. BleedRedBlacks starts now.
BleedRedBlacks.
Gabriel is open in the end zone. Touchdown! The Ottawa fans and players are going crazy.
Your number one podcast for all things Red Black.
It's complete on the near side. Sinopoli makes the tackle into the end zone. Touchdown! It's Brad Sinopoli.
Every season,
Back to pass throws. It's intercepted. And this is going to be a pick six into the end zone for a touchdown. It's Jarrell Gavin. Touchdown, Ottawa!
all season.
First and 10 Ottawa from the BC 30. Here's Burris throwing into the end zone. Ellingson, and it is caught! Oh, what a catch by Greg Ellingson!
Hello and welcome to episode 22 of the BleedRedBlacks podcast. Got a pretty awesome crew here today, joined obviously by the one and only season ticket holder Mike. What's up?
Election day, here I am.
That's right.
I'm ready.
Yeah, good man. And we have a couple special guests in the South Keys today. So two hardworking OSEG employees, Damien and Kabina. What's up, guys?
Thanks so much for having us.
Hey, of course. Kabina, what's up?
Hey, appreciate it.
Hey, Kavina, you're like a celeb on this podcast, so just
Every
so you
week.
know. Yeah, so, I mean, if it was just Damien, I mean, we definitely wouldn't have fresh baked scones today, but anytime anyone hooks us up with a coffee / food / booze voucher,
I took care of that too.
you're all right with us. You're all right with us.
Do what I can.
And I want
Yeah,
to.
oh, come on, you do more than you can.
I want to thank OSEG for clearing that 17-page waiver to get you guys over here in the South Keys and in our studio. So thank you very much, OSEG, for allowing a few employees to roll in here. Awesome.
You guys are still on the clock, right? Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Whole management team's going to listen to this.
I'll
so,
sign. I'll sign off on your card when you go, so they know it's legit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Perfect.
we're all here till 10 tonight. So
Yeah,
it's all good.
it's gonna be a full night here.
So okay, I got a bunch of stuff I want to talk to you guys about. But first of all, I just got to say, winning. I want to hear tons of Charlie Sheen this episode, Mark. If you could hook that up, that would be amazing. And yeah, we're going to the playoffs, man. It's ridiculous.
Unbelievable. You talking about the playoffs?
Playoffs? There you go.
There we go. Playoffs.
Thank you.
I love it.
I put it on a tee. I was hoping someone would go for it. So.
Johnny Z, is that you?
Okay.
That's awesome. No, it's.
Hey, Damien, just follow the notes, bud.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But it's just great to be. It's an amazing feeling to see a team that last year we sat in this basement and struggled through. I don't know how many episodes of loss, and thinking about this moment, getting to the playoffs was the ultimate goal. So,
And I'll be honest, I didn't think we'd be here this quickly. We'll talk about it in game recap, but it's pretty awesome the strides we've made. It's really impressive, and no one would have expected this. I would have been happy with 6-7 win season after last year. So this is pretty awesome. But anyways, let's get down to business. We got our special guests here.
Yep.
It's amazing you guys are here. So Kabina, you and I I've been basically bugging you all year. Crazy requests, and you always accommodate, so that's pretty awesome.
Yep.
And as you know, you are a kind of a pseudo-celeb in the BleedRedBlacks family. And Damien, you and I met on the road trip to Regina.
Awesome trip.
Which was pretty killer.
Yeah.
And apparently you won it.
Yeah.
So it's even awesomer because you
yeah.
didn't have to pay for it. So that's
perfect.
wicked. Yeah, I was still paying off that baby.
That's right.
So anyways, so first of all, obviously you two guys are huge sports fans. I know, Kabina, you have an athletic background. Damien, you're a hardcore baseball and just sports guy in general.
Yep.
So I guess, not just quickly, how did each one of you kind of wind up at OSEG? And how did you get this dream
describe
job?
your official title too, so everybody knows. So, Damien.
Yeah, so new business specialist in the ticketing team.
That's a pretty amazing title.
Yeah, no.
Not as good as mine.
No,
Are you a specialist? Oh, sorry.
Assistant to the regional director.
Assistant to the specialist.
Oh, yeah, we all got some pretty awesome titles here. So, went to Brock University for sport management, and a bunch of us at OSEG came from Brock, so it's pretty cool.
Cool.
It's paying off for us. So after that, went and volunteered for years, and after 7 years after graduating, got this job, and ecstatic, couldn't believe I'm here. You know, it's
That's so awesome.
a team that's starting up, so great opportunity, and it's been an amazing ride.
Yeah, it must be. I mean, especially after 7 years, you know, like a lot of people may have kind of given up or, grabbed a shovel or something.
Yeah.
So that's amazing, and good on you for being diligent and sticking with it. That's awesome. Yeah. And okay, so Kabina, what's your official job title, and how the heck did you get here?
Well, what is my job title? You should know.
You are the commissioner of Section FF.
Yes.
Exactly.
You make things happen. It's amazing.
I got to make some more trips up there, but my title would be fan service specialist.
Okay.
I basically take care of season ticket holders. So as you will learn tomorrow, you will actually probably log on to Capital Tickets, and I won't do it for you over the
Ooh, making
over
strides.
email.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm making strides too. I know.
How many accounts do you have now, Mike?
About
4 to 8 or something?
14.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Depending on the event, yeah.
Depending on the event, yeah. I'm still waiting on tickets to Kiss from 1994 or something like that. But yeah, no, Capital Tickets
They're
is
still
awesome.
terrible. Nothing's changed.
Yeah, nothing's changed.
Buy the lunchbox, Max.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and so tomorrow, what's the big day tomorrow? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, tomorrow would be the renewals. So we are actually going to launch that tomorrow. So not too many people know that, but we're officially going to launch our season ticket packages tomorrow. So everyone's
Cool.
probably waiting to hear about playoffs.
Yes.
We're keeping that on the in the secrecy department right now.
Okay, regarding playoff tickets, I know
Damien knows a little bit about that.
Not to throw him under the bus
Yeah,
or
that's
anything. We're gonna have to edit this out after, or what? Okay, so we'll wait. You know,
I
hurry
know
up
the
and wait.
the Citizen reported that the tickets would be available near the end of the month, and it seemed to be the most popular post that we had on our Facebook page was the Citizen's remarks regarding tickets available near the end of October. So
Yeah, I would say they're pretty accurate in that time. But
You're not on trial here, bro.
no, but we also have
Mark's in there with the flashlight. Hey,
light above my head here.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll also have new tickets going on sale for anyone who's looking to buy new seasons as well tomorrow. So launching it both at the same time. So it's gonna be an exciting day, a long day for us tomorrow. But
sounds like you guys will be busy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This is the day we all wait for in the ticketing world, right? So
Cool. Yeah, I can really. Do you guys get like little internal contests going as far as like my sales versus your sales, or the best whatever, or top renewal, or anything like that, or?
sometimes, but
Because to me, that sounds like gambling, so I'd love to talk
That's right.
about that. Yeah.
Because if I can start putting money on either one of you to sell more, do more renewal percentage, that would be
Is
great.
there an OSEG ticket office tab on DraftKings? If there is, I'm sure you're going for about 7,500, and Kabina's probably about the same. So
Yeah.
not very efficient use of money, but anyways.
How do you think you got on the Red Blacks trip there?
Oh,
hey now.
going on a heater. Okay, I get it. We've all been there.
Yeah, amazing.
The old martingale. I like it. Okay, so just generally, you guys sort of said, what your day-to-day, title is and what you guys do, sort of. But what's the best thing about working at OSEG? Obviously, just being surrounded by not only high-level athletes, but like business people and lots of good mentors, I'm sure. So yeah, what do you guys like the best about kind of working there and what you guys do?
Yeah, I mean, it's great. Like, every day, think about it. You got to sell sports. It's not like you're sitting there. I mean, yeah, we're at a desk, but we had game days. So we have 67's Fury and Red Blacks game days.
Right.
So every day we're talking to clients over the phone. We're watching the Our Nation Facebook page. We're doing everything. And it's not every day. Like, people get to wake up and say, oh, you work for OSEG? Like, it's something people are, like, so excited about, right? Like.
Yeah. I love when people say, "Oh, you guys work such long hours." Yeah, we're working long hours. We're watching sports at the same time and talking sports. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better than that, right?
I mean, it's a ground level position too. In essence, the feeling I have is you guys are laying the foundation now for years to come. So that's got to be a good feeling for you guys at the end of the day. There's a sense of accomplishment as you guys build this great sports franchises, right? So
Right, and watching it from even last season, right? I mean, we did start when TD Place wasn't what it is even today. Lansdowne, like you guys walk around there, so much has changed in 1 year, and it just keeps changing. Like more things keep opening. People are more excited to go to Lansdowne, and it's just like the atmosphere is crazy. The Our Nation atmosphere is something that everyone created, right? Fans, sales team, for the company, everyone, and everyone's buying into it.
So you're selling. You're not only selling the sporting event. You're selling the experience, right? And that's so important in today's sporting world. I feel. I ended up socializing more on Friday than I ever have at a game. I saw you see friends and people you know, and it's almost like the place you want to be. Like
people in Section FF were like, "Did Mike get lost?"
I know.
And I'm like, "No, I think he's just on his game tonight. He's on point."
I'm on point. and when your boss is there, you gotta kind of, you know what I mean? Because it becomes that social event as well, and especially with the 67s. That's how I grew up. Was Friday nights was a 67s game to socialize and hang out and drink beer and there was a hockey game going on somewhere there, but that was the process. Did you guys grow up with junior hockey in mind or CFL? How did that work for either one of you?
I actually started off my my pro sport life with the Argos in high school. I was the water boy for them for 3 years. So
Bobby Boucher, I love it.
That's right. Every day at high school. Gatorade.
Hey, Mark, I'm pretty sure you got a nice sample you can throw in there, eh, bud?
Oh, yeah. It's clean. It's cold. And that's what I call high-quality A2O.
But, in Mississauga or in Toronto where I grew up, OHL hockey was just starting up there. It wasn't a huge deal like it was in London and Ottawa at the time and other markets. So I grew up with the CFL, NBA, MLB around me. So a lot of options in Toronto, and then having the opportunity to come out here with 3 teams and getting it going here was, like I said, a dream of a lifetime.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell them what you did around the bases?
Oh, the Fat Cats?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I used to...
Were you grape?
I wasn't grape, no.
Okay, because that'd be amazing.
I had a few jobs with the Fat Cats. I was a ticket taker before the game. Then during the game, I was the on-field MC with the mic doing all the contests. And then... I was also the tax man, if anyone remembers the tax man.
Obviously.
Yeah. With the grocery cart, the cape, and the suit that was about 5 sizes too small.
My problem at those games is I would always go to there was like a tiki hut or something.
Yeah.
Where they just free poured mixed drinks.
That's right.
I don't know where the staff came from, if it was like partners of players or something. But 3 or 4 of those bad boys, I definitely wouldn't have noticed the size of your costume.
I'd ask to get home, get a home ride in that shopping cart for sure.
Yeah.
If I could just get in that. What about hockey, Kavina? Talk us about you growing up a fan, a player, and where did you get your hockey fandom from and sports in general?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I grew up playing all kinds of sports, soccer, hockey, everything. I come from a family of 4, and my older sister is 1 year older, and she actually played sports as well. So I kind of lived in her shadows, which whatever. It's always like, oh, Brianna's sister this, Brianna's sister that. So I followed her to school at Robert Morris University.
Well, does Brianna work at OSEG?
No.
In your face, Brianna.
She's currently unemployed, so I'm winning right now.
Oh, snap.
We can get another winning.
No, but yeah, I followed her. Went to Robert Morris University in the States, played hockey there for 4 years, and then came back here. And I was lucky enough to work for OSEG pretty shortly after I returned to Stittsville.
So that timing just kind of worked out. Like you were already anticipating coming back, and then got the job, or how did that?
I kind of I worked. I came home and worked for a small landscaping company in the West End there, in Stittsville, and I actually read about OSEG in the paper, in the Ottawa Citizen, and said how it's the place to be. I read about how you made a sale and you ring a bell. So I applied more than once.
Wolf of Wall Street over here.
No, seriously.
I know. I like it.
Yeah, so I applied through that and got the job. Been there almost 2 years now, and it's been great. And OHL, I went to 67s games as a kid with my dad all the time. I went to the old, when it was called the Civic Center. It was great, and I mean, I remember growing up there. I was small though. I wasn't.
Yeah, I always talk about the transition of the 67s from pre Jeff Hunt ownership into Jeff Hunt ownership, and it was just such a what you guys are doing with the 67s now and the family groups and the family packages. It's something that basically was put together. That's how they grew that franchise, and it was the place to be. I mean, I remember going to 67s games pre Jeff Hunt, and there being 15 people watching, the Oshawa Generals come into town, and I literally mean there's 4 or 5 rows of people there, and then it becoming the absolute place.
And
to
they all
go.
had Eric Lindros jerseys on.
Yeah, about that time. Yeah, that's you're giving away my age.
Sorry.
Eric Lindros.
Hey, I went and saw the Big E when he played there too, man. He was something special. For
he
sure.
was, yeah. So it's great. That's the big. That's how we feel about being part of this podcast and being part of fandom of the Red Blacks, is that we're seeing this massive upbringing of positive forces from all aspects of the sport. The Fury are going to make the playoffs this year too, so unbelievable. Soccer, hockey, and football you guys are selling, so good.
And you'll start to see some big things with the 67s too, with the prospects program.
Nice.
Having that come back, and any kid playing minor hockey in the city has a free ticket to come all year round, which is great.
That's pretty awesome, yeah.
And show off their team colors too, and have some pride in their organization.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big initiative we're taking.
Free daycare, that's amazing.
That's right.
Basically. Seriously. Just run around the concourse. It's great.
Those bouncy castles, yeah.
Excellent.
Okay, so is there anything awesome upcoming at TD Place aside from the ticket program you guys had mentioned? Kind of any upcoming events that you guys are kind of stoked about? You want to put your salesman face on? Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, we have obviously the playoffs, and that's probably going to be just
the big push. Yeah.
But I think it's going to have the same type of atmosphere as that home opener that we had last year. People are excited. This is the first time we've had playoffs in this city for a football team in over 20 years now, right? So,
or I think our last home playoff game was early 80s.
Yeah. So I mean,
right around the time when Mike was going to watch the 67s games, probably.
Yeah, and busing down to sit on the south side for Rough Rider games.
You were skateboarding.
I'd skateboard
behind the bus like Marty McFly.
Oh, I wish I was that cool.
Yeah, that and the Fury having their playoff game, we're again, nothing's set in stone at this point yet, but I think we got a really good shot with magic numbers down to 1 point for the Fury and a few games to go here. So
yeah,
it'd be we'll get it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. So. What about yourself, Kamina?
Yeah, no, I mean, tonight we're missing Godsmack right now.
Yeah.
So
okay.
No,
shucks. You're welcome, by the way.
Exactly.
Wow.
I checked out AC/DC though. Did you guys go to that?
Yeah, I did. It was awesome. I had a great time. My nephew slept through the whole thing. It was so cute.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, did you have fun? He's like, it rocked. I'm like, whatever, bro.
How do you sleep through something like that?
I don't know. You remember when you were 8?
No.
Me neither, because you were sleeping.
Yeah, no, that was a huge concert. I mean, we're having many, not little events there, but things that fill TD Place, like the Arena Bowl. It's great. There's a few things coming up. I mean, we have the Briere 2016, so that's going to be pretty.
I just got my ticket offer for that. So
I was actually looking at a past. So you guys are affiliated with that then?
Well, everything at TD Place we kind of want to promote.
Okay.
Yeah, we do a lot of selling online for those type of events, but I obviously can answer questions. You shoot me an email, I'm going to answer it. So
okay, you better. Because I've last year I went to my first Grey Cup and it was like a crazy bender, and most people I met there were like, "This is pretty much like the Briere," and I'm like, "Wow, like you had me at crazy bender." I've never considered going to watch curling voluntarily. But I'm definitely going to go and maybe grab a drink and go sit down and to see what it's all about. It's supposed to be pretty awesome. So.
Yeah, and we have a lacrosse showdown coming up that we just announced. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Lax fans, but
Saskatchewan against Toronto, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it should be fun.
See,
I'm
on my game. I'm on my game.
You're looking at a former season ticket holder of our old lacrosse team. So
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that started off at Civic Center before it had moved to the Corral Center at the time. And, and it was, and I lost interest obviously because I lived closer to downtown, so I actually didn't renew my tickets when they moved to the Corral Center or the Palladium or whatever it was called back
They
then.
put on a good show. Like it's.
I grew up playing lacrosse. I
Yeah.
love it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great. It's such a violent sport.
Seems like there's no rules sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
Cross check is fine.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting sport for sure. And
That's how I got this pretty face. Is playing years of competitive lacrosse. I loved it.
I thought it was just lots of tanning salon and those creams with the gold in it, whatever.
Pretty much, yeah. That's awesome.
I don't know. I know you can buy it in Vegas. I don't know if it's actual gold.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, so let's get down to business, just because it's how I roll. What's your favorite thing to eat at Lansdowne? I don't even know. Like, I've eaten so many delicious things there. And I mean anywhere. And it's very important that your answer's solid, because I'm going to go crush something.
Anywhere on site?
Like on campus or
Anywhere on
On
campus.
campus.
Anywhere
I
on
like that.
campus.
I feel like we're in the office here. What's on campus here, guys?
Yeah,
stay,
all right.
stay on campus for your breaks, guys. Come on now. Come on now.
That's how it goes.
No, if they leave the property, they just get shot.
Spend that money in here, guys.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, don't worry about your paycheck. I already wrote it off to Joey's, so it's all good.
When Joey opened in local, our paychecks went to that. Like,
Yeah,
we were
no
there
doubt.
every lunch, dinner, after work. So
I
it was
love
great.
locals.
So I assume the novelty, it's kind of worn off a little bit, but there still must be places you guys like to jam out in there, right?
We probably go like 3 to 4 places a week. Honestly, I mean,
Okay.
we really shouldn't be going out every day, but it's hard not to.
You work hard, you party hard.
Exactly.
Yeah, we podcast occasionally and we party all the time. Something like that.
Well put.
Well put.
That's like a Mulcair pump up speech.
Yeah.
No, there's anything wrong with that. So what's the deal? What's your favorite thing to eat at that barn?
I mean, I love the fish tacos over local.
Yeah.
The farmhouse burger at Milestones is incredible.
You could probably name 5 things off every menu, couldn't
Pretty
you?
much, yeah. I mean,
That's like a normal portion for you, isn't it?
It's one evening with this guy.
nice appetizer, right? The burger. Yeah, we went to Crust and Crate last night.
That's a new spot there,
Yeah.
right? Pizza joint, yeah?
Yeah,
I enjoyed
really
it
good
there.
Spot, yeah.
Really
Cool.
good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the vibe in there? Did you guys notice anything? The airport signs on there? Do you notice anything about them?
No, I haven't been in the place.
Do you know it, Damien?
No, I didn't see that.
A little
Yeah.
little Easter egg here. What's up?
Yeah, it's all the CFL cities. And then if you look at it in the colors on them, you should check it out.
I will.
Okay,
Next
cool.
time I'm in there, I better notice that.
Well, at least unlike
Look into it.
unlike another bar there, at least they support CFL, so that's cool, right?
yes.
But we won't get into that.
No. Let's stay on. Let's keep positive.
We
on
gotta keep
camp-
it positive here.
Keep positive on campus here, guys. Let's go. And so yeah. Where's your spot to chow down?
I like every place, but
Yeah.
I checked out Industria.
Mhm.
Is that the one that you guys are referencing before?
No.
No. Listen
I
to the
don't
show.
know.
Listen to the show, bud.
They have a pizza. It's called Industria Pizza, and it's literally Big Mac on a pizza.
Okay.
And I'm a
Sold.
big McDonald's fan, so,
Right on.
Amazing.
Right on.
so that's
Okay.
my favorite.
I had my first the awesome voucher I received. I ended up putting back one of the chicken sandwiches from your vendors on Friday night. It was amazing. It had a coleslaw on it. It was good.
See, obviously the night Mike's rolling around with vouchers, he vanishes from me, right? It's
That's
like
what it
the one game we didn't sit next to each other the whole game. He comes back,
And I'll tell you what happens.
best
when
goddamn crackers I ever had.
hey, when it's free, it tastes amazing. But I'll tell you what else is awesome. Is when it's free, you also get the app that goes with it. So I was like, I'll use this voucher, and they ran off and made sure it was legit.
He didn't make it at Staples. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't make it. A
Not
save,
that
was it?
one, anyway.
Not that one. And then I said, you know what? I'm gonna get the poutine. Forget it. It's my cheat night, like every other night. So
It's my
forget the
cheat
diet.
night.
Forget the diet.
But you got your steps in that day anyway, so no worries, right?
Did I ever? Yeah. I think
If
I
you're going
won.
to a 67s game though, the roast beef sandwich at right by gate 2 is incredible. It's
Yes.
only $5, and
Yes.
it's awesome. Get the
At-
horseradish on there.
At the rate we're going, I feel like food time with Damien probably gonna happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
you know your stuff. Like, I can tell. I can tell.
We got a new segment for next year already. BleedRedBlacks food podcast brought to you by OSEG and Damien.
Speaking of
We'll travel
food,
around.
I know you guys brought us awesome stuff. You guys brought us beers. You brought Mark some vitamin P, which he's got on the floor appropriately. You brought us.
He's still on cold medicine, so you see, I don't get him on the beers. He's got a vote still.
You brought us some bows, and that was awesome. And since this is a broke podcast, I got you guys some popcorn. So.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it is Ottawa popcorn too. It is made 2184 Thurston Drive right here in Ottawa. So
I didn't realize that.
So since you're kind of sassy, I got you the sweet and salty, Damien.
I appreciate that. That's kind.
And really no theme other than everyone likes cheese popcorn. So I got you a white cheddar Kobe. So
I
there
love
you
food.
go.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. And it was also a fundraiser for United Way. So win-win. Right?
Perfect. Oh, perfect.
There you go. So
perfect.
And it was a kind of a good guilt purchase, you know. I'm like,
yeah,
I got to be nice to these guys and support charity. And I've just been crushing those bags at work like crazy. So it's fun to buy them and not eat them like instantaneously. So consult the caloric content. Not too bad. Not
bad at all. Yeah. Good, nice guys.
Yeah, hey, no worries. So you want to just get into game recap? Or?
Yeah, let's do it because we're gonna have we got Santino's coming up, right? He's got a little rant as usual. I didn't get to listen to it again today. Of course, what's this work thing that gets in the way of podcast production, right?
I don't know. Sometimes this life isn't fair.
It's ridiculous.
So Santino this week is going on about, and it's funny because I actually wrote about this in Game Recap, so obviously we're kind of thinking along the same lines, is no more Chris Williams on special teams. And then we have the one and only Janine doing her around the CFL, and I guess that could be summed up best by saying, do BC, Montreal, and Winnipeg even want to be in the playoffs? So let's roll into that, and then we're going to come back, do a game recap with our two guests here, and maybe in the meantime we'll crush some scones, eat some popcorn, and drink some vitamin P.
All right, see you on the other side.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Bleed Red Blacks podcast. Check us out on Twitter at BleedRedBlacks and on Facebook at facebook.com/Bleed Red Blacks podcast.
Live from Brazil, here's the Red Black Renegade rant with Santino Filoso.
Are you ready? Do you really mean to tell me that a 5'0" wide receiver is worth $40,000 more than Chad Owens?
We'll do it live!
If the helmets weren't ready this week, they should have pushed their introduction back.
It has begun.
In the second quarter of Ottawa's playoff-clinching win over the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, wide receiver Chris Williams made history by becoming the first Red Black to hit the 1,000-yard receiving mark in a season. Over the course of the year, Williams has become one of Burris's favorite targets and has turned into a key cog of one of the CFL's top offenses. Williams' speed and ability to stretch the defense create space and one-on-one mismatches for guys like Ellingson, Jackson, Sinopoli, and Price. That's why I think it's high time the coaches stop using Williams on punt returns. Look, I know Williams was signed in large part due to his game-breaking return ability, but the fact of the matter is, he hasn't looked good returning punts all season. To date, Williams has returned 56 punts for 334 yards, which averages out to a measly 6 yards per punt return, with his longest of the year coming in at 22 yards. Ottawa's special teams woes have been well documented, and it's obvious watching their return game that something isn't working. It might be that the blocks aren't forming, or that the schemes are simply terrible, or perhaps it's that Williams' confidence is shot, because as much as I hate to admit it, for whatever reason, he looks timid back there. Other returners in the CFL, such as Stevan Logan, Kendall Lawrence, Chris Rainey, and Troy Studemeyer, for example, look dangerous when fielding punts. They catch the ball at full speed and seem to slash up the field. Williams, on the other hand, always seems to catch the punt at a standstill and moves laterally looking for an opening, almost expecting to immediately get hit, and looks like he's trying to avoid taking a big shot. Sure, theoretically, Williams could snap out of the funk and take one to the house on any given play, but really, if you're a Red Blacks coach, is it worth risking your leading wide receiver and biggest deep threat for a paltry 6 yards per punt return? I say no. To me, at this point in the season, the Red Blacks would be much better off allowing Williams to focus his efforts on offense than they would risking him on punt returns. Making the switch seems especially obvious when you consider that the Red Blacks have guys like Reggie Dunn and Trevon Van, both college return specialists, sitting on their practice roster. Surely, either one of those guys could average 6 yards per return, right? What it boils down to is that the Red Blacks will definitely need a healthy Williams if they have any hope of making a serious run to the Grey Cup, and to continue using him on punt returns when he's not producing just doesn't make sense. That's all for this week, guys. Make sure to rant back at Red Black Gade, and remember to bleed Red Blacks.
Hey guys, thanks for listening to the Bleed Red Blacks podcast. Check us out at bleedredblacks.ca for blogs, photos, and podcast archives.
Dude, isn't she a Bombers fan?
Let me laugh even harder.
But for the love of God, please start Hook's
sliding.
Dude, whatever. She's an Ottawa fan too.
Did Buck Pierce's constant injuries not teach you guys anything?
Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Enough ranting, on to the games.
Really? Righteous. Welcome to Around the CFL with Jin on the Bleed Red Blacks podcast.
Week 17 means that we are getting down to the wire in the CFL. Some teams, like our very own Ottawa RedBlacks, have clinched playoff spots and are now jockeying for a home playoff game. Others, like Winnipeg, BC, and Montreal, are still battling it out for that last playoff spot, setting up some exciting scenarios this week. Winnipeg didn't exactly help themselves out with their loss to Ottawa on Friday night. They were left watching Saturday's BC-Edmonton game pretty closely. So let's depart with the Around the CFL tradition of recapping games chronologically and jump straight ahead to that one. BC had a golden opportunity to gain some ground on the Bombers, and they came out hungry in Edmonton against a heavily favored Eskimo team. Even though they did not generate as much offense as they have in their last couple of games, the Lions kept it close, even having the lead at times throughout. Jennings went a respectable 22 of 35 for 229, one touchdown pass to Manny Arsenault, and one interception. He also racked up the most rushing yards at 24, with Andrew Harris only getting 6 carries for 2 yards total. Definitely still struggling on the ground in BC. Also still struggling on special teams, with Leone missing a 1-point convert and a field goal attempt that would have definitely changed the outcome of this game. Offensively, after taking some pretty heavy criticism on that front, Edmonton came out guns blazing. Adarius Bowman was a beast, 11 catches for 198 yards and a touchdown. On the ground, Shakir Bell got back to his early season form, bouncing off defenders and racking up 91 yards. Mike Riley went 24 of 40, 332 yards and 1 touchdown to Bowman. He also threw 3 interceptions, 2 of which led to major scores for BC, which is really why they were able to keep this game so close. But in the dying minutes of the game, with his team down by 3, Riley engineered a drive to within field goal distance. Sean White nailed it, and fans were treated to another overtime game. It took a second mini game to decide this one. On his first series, Jennings threw an interception to Dion Lacey. All Edmonton needed was 1 point to win. They got 3, thanks to another Sean White field goal. The Eskimos win their 6th straight, 26-23. As for BC, they lost their chance to put some space between them and the Bombers, and so the battle rages on. Okay, back to the first matchup of Saturday afternoon between Calgary and Toronto. This one was played in Hamilton because of the American League Division Series, in front of just barely over 3,400 people. Ouch. Kudos to the TSN camera folks who did their best to keep the mostly empty stands out of the shots, because frankly that is just not a positive optic for the Argos and their faithful. As for the Argos, this was their 3rd game in 12 days, and the wear and tear of this schedule was definitely showing. Calgary got up to a 17-0 lead in the first half, as Harris and his all-star receiving corps were not able to get anything going except for yelling at each other and coaches along the sidelines. There was an awful lot of speculation about whether or not we would see Ricky Ray thrown into this game in the second half, and whether or not this would be fair to Harris, who has been such a star all season. The speculation ended when Harris came out in the 3rd quarter, and after the Stamps fumbled the opening kick return, he marched his team down the field for a touchdown to Torrey Gurley. After going 7 of 17 attempts for 66 yards and an interception in the first half, he fought back hard and finished with 260 yards. But the Calgary defense was just too much for Harris and the Argos on Saturday. Harris was sacked 6 times and intercepted for 3. Offensively, Bo Levi Mitchell had a solid outing, 21 of 28, 266 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. John Cornish sat this one out, undergoing concussion protocol, and even though Jerome Messam has arrived in Calgary after last week's big trade deadline, he was not dressed for this one. So Calgary was pretty quiet on the ground, with Torrey Harrison and Matt Walter rushing for only 37 and 23 yards respectively. But the Stamps didn't need the ground game to hold on against the Argo squad that has earned the reputation of being a second-half team. They win this one 27-15, and John Huffnagel gets his 100th win as a head coach. Congrats, Huff. Toronto fails to move ahead of the Red Blacks in the East, and Calgary makes sure that they keep pace with Edmonton in the West. The last game of the week was an Eastern matchup between the Ticats and the Alouettes in snowy Montreal. Yes, snow. With losses by both Winnipeg and BC this weekend, Montreal now had the opportunity to move ahead of them in the standings for that shot at the crossover. To bolster their chances at playoffs, they made a big splash on Wednesday at the trade deadline by trading away a 5th-round draft pick to the Saskatchewan Roughriders for Kevin Glenn. And so the best insurance policy in the league finds himself on his 8th team, with only a few days to learn the playbook and the unenviable task of trying to get through the Tiger Cats. Remember that a lot of analysts have been saying that the Ticats should make a play for Glenn if they want a shot at making it back to the Grey Cup without Zach Caleros. But rookie Jeff Matthews is looking good. On Sunday, he completed 21 of 25 pass attempts for 241 yards and a touchdown to Terrell Sinkfield. And I know, we are all sick and tired of hearing Rod Black talk about the Cornell connection between Luke Tasker and Jeff Matthews, but these two definitely have some major chemistry. This week they connected on 8 passes for 107 yards, one of which will surely move Tasker to the top of the list for catches of the year, as he practically had to do the limbo, look over his back shoulder, and fold himself into 3 to reel in a 43-yarder. Kevin Glenn had a much tougher outing. I'm sure he struggled to cram a new playbook into his head, but he also got no help, and I mean no help, from his Montreal receivers. S.J. Green, B.J. Cunningham, Fred Stamps all dropped catchable balls, putting Montreal at a serious disadvantage. Terrell Sutton was the only bright spot on offense for the Owls, rushing for 50 and adding another 79 yards through the air. Glenn finished the day with 26 of 44, 226 yards, 1 touchdown in the dying seconds to Fred Stamps, and 3 interceptions. Montreal's defense made sure that it wasn't a total rout, but they couldn't do enough to stop the Ticats from winning this one 23-11. And so even though Winnipeg, BC, and Montreal are all fighting for their playoff lives, not one of the 3 of them could pull off a win this week, and no one gains any real ground. In the West, Edmonton and Calgary remain neck and neck at 12-4 apiece, each with 2 games left as they battle it out for first place. BC sits at 5-10 with 3 games left, Winnipeg at 5-11 with 2 games left, and Saskatchewan at 2-13 with 3 games left. With Hamilton winning on Sunday and Toronto losing on Saturday, the Ticats move into sole possession of first place in the East at 10-5 with 3 games left. Toronto and Ottawa share a 9-6 record, both teams with 3 games left, and Montreal sits at the bottom of the East with 5-10 and 3 games left. Week 18 will see Montreal and Toronto, or wherever the hell the Argos are forced to play this game. The Ticats will travel to BC to take on the Lions. The Red Blacks travel to Winnipeg to finish a home-at-home against the Bombers, and the Eskimos head to Regina to take on the Rough Riders. Calgary gets the bye. Red Blacks fans, you want Montreal to beat Toronto, BC to beat the Lions, and of course our guys to take the Bombers. That would put us tied for first place with the Tiger Cats on the eve of a home-at-home against them, and you can't ask for anything more exciting than that. Well, that's it for this week's edition of Around the CFL. Remember to tweet us back with your thoughts about your league at BleedRedBlacks and at Ottawa J.
Game recap on the Bleed Red Blacks podcast.
Game recap. So last Friday was a very frigid and chilly night at TD Place, where it was a win and you're in kind of situation. And we squeaked one out 27-24. The score doesn't really tell the tale. Pretty much dominated the game and was kind of a slow second half. I think they kind of plugged away, but there was definitely no shortage of coffee or hot chocolate, Kamina, so thanks for
that was all me.
For hearing our concerns. And also mad props to the TELUS Wi-Fi at TD Place. So Deirdre was able to stream the game perfectly clear on Bell TV, and she held it up, and all the people around us, like at least 2 or 3 rows behind, were able to see no problem. So that's pretty amazing.
Was the Jays game?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
At Friday night, yeah. So pretty awesome support for both the teams we love, and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. It was pretty awesome. So shout out to TELUS Wi-Fi.
So we found out that you guys don't actually get to watch the game much. I mean, I saw Damien running up and down the corridor at least once. So you guys are out there doing your thing. So when it comes to asking you what kind of stats Hank had on Friday night, I guess we're not going to get a very good answer from you guys. But so just a quick game day. So on a night like Friday, I see him running up and down. I see Damien running up and down the corridor. What are you doing on a game night?
I do the same thing. Seat visits all game.
Seat visits. How's it going? How you doing?
Yeah.
Shake hands, kiss babies, all that stuff.
Try to do that.
Gross.
We do different things.
Yeah.
It's easier to see you guys when you're in Otto's club compared to FF. Row 11.
Yeah.
High up there, but I try to do my best, especially when you guys, middle of the row. Excuse me. Try to get to everyone, but no, it's good. Just see clients, visit them, deal with issues issues arrive on game day, right? So
yeah,
of course.
Same thing for you, Damien?
Yeah, same thing for me. Just try to make sure we're talking to as many people as we can, and getting people excited for the upcoming season.
Plugging new and exciting programs.
New and exciting programs, yeah.
So why don't we plug one now?
Perfect timing. Perfect timing.
The segue master.
Apple Auto Glass. All right, here we are with the Apple Auto Glass game changer.
Yeah, we got the Red Blacks Lumberyard starting up this coming year. So what that is it's a new fan appreciation exclusive club. So how do you get in? You get in by signing up for season's tickets before December 4th. And in doing so, you're a part of this special crew. And some of the things you get with it is you get an Our Nation towel or rally flag, a chance to win two tickets to the Grey Cup in Toronto.
See you there.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Weekly surprise and delight type of prizes I will be handing out to people that are selected at random. And an invitation to our VIP 2016 home opener event. So great opportunity to get involved. I mean, Our Nation's a great community that we already have, and getting people on board early, and you get your commemorative tickets as well. So that's another big thing about coming on early this year.
Cool. That sounds pretty awesome, actually. Yeah.
And it's great that you two guys here came up with that idea. It's amazing. That's awesome, and I think it's great. I think the tickets every year, just the fact that you had fans. I mean, Our Nation this year, the camera was pointed at us, the fan group, and it was really plugged throughout the season. And having actual fans on the tickets was something that was amazing. So you guys just one more awesome with this great program coming up. So
don't want these faces on any tickets, bud. Right?
I have a face for radio.
So anyways, that's great. I think the momentum that this whole Our Nation thing is gaining, it just never seems to slow down, and it's pretty cool. And I mean, the fact that you guys are sitting down here right now says it all. I mean, before the Red Blacks were in town, I mean, we never would have even known you guys ever. So it's amazing the people we've met along the way, and I'm sure it's only a fraction of the people that you guys have met, for good or bad, throughout the way. So I have one quick question for you before we get into game preview, just because I'm curious. They're talking about game day stuff. What's the weirdest game day incident / request you've had without, getting in
Keep
too
it
much
family
trouble
friendly,
here?
right?
That's right. Yeah.
We are sponsored by Disney.
I mean, I think the home opener last year, that was one of the most chaotic experiences of my life. Looking back and seeing all the things we thought we had in place, and then running out of beer, running out of food, having.
Oh, you ran out of beer?
Oh yeah, you didn't hear that. Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah.
They were being auctioned off behind section F. Like, we got a beer right here. And they're like, sold.
Oh, what? It's a Pilsner?
Yeah, walking through the lower north during that game, and I had a clipboard with me at the time, and just everyone just got turned on me in the corridors. It was an experience for sure. So that was a wild game, but we learned from it, and
did you
got
ever?
A lot better? Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of those things. You have your pass, then it slowly slide the pass into the jacket. Everyone's just looking at you, staring. But having the forklifts up there, upper north, by the end of the game, they had forklifts up there with cases of beer, trying to sell them, trying to make up for it. I mean, at the end of the day, got the win.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is huge.
That helped a lot with the 300 voicemails to walk into the next day.
That's all I remember is the win. And
5 field goals.
And
no touchdown.
The Grey Cup parade, we started to plan right away. I didn't even have any beer in me, and I was planning that parade. So it's because I didn't want to drink that night, by the way. I didn't want to.
Yeah. Or that's not why the beer ran out, obviously. So anyways, getting back to the game. So this was a must-win game for the Red Blacks, who could have secured a playoff spot with the victory. And as the score says, 27-24, we are headed to the playoffs. So, you said it, Damien, earlier.
Playoffs! Yeah.
Oh, I was waiting for that impression. That's okay. We'll just get Mark to clip it in from earlier in the show. So great job burying another sub 500 team, which is what winning teams need to do.
You got to win when you need to win.
And so this will be our first playoff appearance in 21 years. And now we need to keep running the table so we can host our first game since the early 80s.
Yeah,
and that would be something just crazy. And I guess for you guys too, like if you could fill that barn one more game. Especially playoff atmosphere would be just awesome leading into next year, especially.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be too difficult to sell tickets to that game.
Not at all.
Even the Fairweather fans will come that game. So
big time.
Yeah, even the Southsiders that leave when it rains will stick around. So after a 2-16 inaugural season, I mean, how can management not be totally stoked about the progress of this club, right? Like, in 1 year, we went from a team of cast-offs, veterans, and, rookies, to a team led by a possible most outstanding player, basically 5 all-star receivers and an effective defense by committee. So, and one of the CFL's top coaching staffs. Notice I omitted any special teams discussion.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, for now. So, I think this all really got started when we signed Jason Moss. And also we brought in a truckload of offensive weapons for Hank, which is fun. But, I mean, this team let everyone know right away they were committed to winning. And we talked about that and at the beginning of this season. And we all knew what they needed to do in the offseason, and they did it.
Yeah, the offensive line improvement was just, that had me excited in the preseason, was being able to see Hank with time to pass. So
yeah,
that's done nothing but improve throughout the season. So, and
the results speak for themselves. I mean, not only their record and now clinching a playoff spot, but they're first in the CFL in offense, averaging 401.9 yards a game, and they also lead the league in passing with 323 yards a game passing. And I mean, I could only describe it as those numbers are sick. Yeah, like straight up.
I think you're seeing it a lot too. Or last year, when Hank would throw the ball, and it'd be 1-on-1, or you'd see it'd be either get deflected, it would be a drop. This year, the receivers, I find they're a lot more talented. They're getting up there, they're grabbing the ball.
Absolutely.
And they're coming down with it, which has been a huge difference on top of the timing that he's getting now.
And we have a couple guys on our practice squad that could probably start at wide receiver anywhere else. So we have depth, and we've just been very fortunate that we've stayed healthy.
The confidence level keeps going up one rung at a time, and it seems like that's teams that do well in the playoffs are teams that can build confidence each and every game leading into that playoff atmosphere. Mm-hmm. So, that's part of it. Every time you see Hank do something, I'll give you, if I can run down some of these Hank stats here, 34 of 43, 370 yards with a TD. Guy does nothing but continue to impress. And, even though it seemed like a bit of a sluggish effort, maybe because of the weather or whatnot, mm-hmm. Just as Damien said, these wide receivers are going up and catching these balls and making plays when they need to. And Hank seems to be finding a rhythm this season. So good on Hank, and he can continue to impress everybody in the league. It seems like he's the talk of the town around the CFL. So
well, I haven't seen any bad Hank tweets lately. So
no bad Hank tweets.
So
you want to talk about William Powell?
I do. Talk about stepping it up. So last week, when Jeremiah Johnson went down with a foot or ankle problem, lower body injury, he stepped up immediately against the Argos, and that trend continued against the Bombers. He had 12 carries for 69 yards and 4 receptions for 41 with a TD. And you know me, my magic number. I love seeing that plus 15 touches for a running back. Balanced offense equals effective offense.
Yeah, next guy stepping up to the plate, and that's what it seems. That's effective in the CFL with so many injuries and depth being the way it is and practice rosters. So good on Powell. Just amazing. And listen, we're going to talk about Chris Williams here, another guy that's going to continue to roll his way to an outstanding season. You got some stats for me there, or what?
Yeah, so, I mean, I just want to say straight up that he is now an elite receiver, okay? He's no longer an elite special teams player. He's now an elite receiver. He currently sits third in the CFL in reception yards and is one of only 5 players over 1,000 yards currently. And he's also the first Red Blacks player to ever eclipse that 1,000 yards receiving mark. So good on him. He's now in the history books, and just amazing. Love to see that progress. He didn't get much playing time at wide receiver when he was with the Bears. So I don't know if he picked up on something while he was down there, but he's a different man on the field. And Mike, you and I have been going on about it all the time, that those timing routes that he has worked out with Hank right now are A+.
Best in the league, honestly, from some of the games I watched this weekend, for sure.
So, I mean, as Santino said earlier, I think it's time for maybe move on with the punt return expectations. I mean, with the level of execution and effort he's delivering on offense, I don't know if I'm really concerned about his lack of effectiveness on returns. Even if those days are behind him, he still is an all-star. He works hard with Hank every week, and that's showing. And he came up to play last week again. So 10 receptions for 125 yards. And just, shout out to Chris right now. Keep grinding. And if you wind up returning punts, it only takes one to turn that season around and just shut up that verbiage.
It might be one that wins a game or something. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how it works, right? As long as we don't line up for a fake punt with just
two players.
Two players,
Oh
like
my
we
God.
saw.
That was crazy,
awesome.
right?
Was
As
awesome.
a Pats fan, that was awesome.
As a Pats fan, he was liking that, right?
Yeah.
I figure that play will show up in Madden next year. Madden 16. So.
It's funny though. I'm as you say, Mike. You're like the football guy at work, right? So
Yeah.
if anyone sees anything that shows up in kind of pop culture that's referring to football, so I had people approaching me today saying, what's going on? Did you see this play? And I didn't really know how to explain it to them. Like one team tried to trick the other team, but really it's just terrible. It's like I can't really get too technical here.
Even
but
the snap, like
what are you doing?
The wide receiver snapping the ball to us.
Yeah.
Awful.
So
anyways,
we'll move on to Reggie Dunn, who we're waiting to see what kind of workload he's going to bring us with kick returns.
Yeah,
and,
so
what that means to the team.
So they brought in Reggie. He only had one return for 22 yards. Thank you to our Hamilton stats man for supplying that, as CFL.ca neglected to admit that he exists. So Reggie Dunn, he kind of bounced around in the NFL. He originally signed with the Steelers after being undrafted in 2013. He's been with the Packers, the Cardinals, the Cowboys. But, for someone to stick around on practice rosters, it shows talent. And you look at his pre-draft measurables from his pro day in 2013 with Utah. So he's just a tiny guy, 5'9", 180, but 4'2", 440. That pretty much says it all. That's some serious wheels, man.
Yeah.
And like 4'2", 440 downhill on a bicycle. I'm still not doing that. So, well, I guess it depends.
Yeah.
Unicycle, maybe. Keep your feet up.
One of those one gears.
I'm terrified of those. I just want to go around doing skids around the neighborhood everywhere. So good on them to bring in Reggie. Alleviate a little bit of the pressure, hopefully, from William and from Chris on their duties. And I think he's got a lot of potential, a lot of upside. So pretty amazing pro day stats and a good CV. So let's hope continued success for him. And it's not the number 15 that we want to see playing, but whatever. Good on them for reaching out and bringing in some new talent.
I know it looks good. It's that next man up status still. So keep rolling management. Keep doing what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Selling tickets and signing players. That's all you need to do, right?
Yeah.
So some of the DBs. Wow. Again, this is a team that just seems to pull it together. Defense kept us in that game early, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the DBs here, and we're going to talk a little bit at the end of this about how some people on social media weren't happy with the closeout of the game, but it was a miserable night, and the DBs did their job for the first 3 quarters. But there will be some concern, I think, if that happened down the stretch. But
and once you slide into prevent at the end of a game on a cold, rainy night, there was definitely the level of effort definitely dropped. But we're all smart enough to do the math and know that the sky would have had to fall, or something crazy would have had to happen for them to get into trouble. Basically.
Uncle Deuce JJ, I like that. That's your thing, eh? I like.
Well, that's what the boys call him.
Yeah.
All their young DBs call him Uncle Deuce, and so JJ, he came to play against his old squad. So he pulled in 2 huge interceptions and. He kept this team in the game when they were stumbling through the second half. So good on him. Continues to be a leader and continues to prove that he's got tons of game left.
See the hands on Abdullah Kane on that INT?
Oh.
Like, that ball was moving around, like, in the rain, and just Slick brings it in.
And I was so happy because we're a huge fan of him. I think he's a wonderful player, great guy, great person. And we were pretty honest with our assessment of him last week, and he did exactly what we were kind of needing him to do, which is head on a swivel, be aware of the ball, and he's been known for tight coverage.
You mentioned
right?
the ball awareness. It's almost like he looked in the eyes of that receiver and saw that the ball was coming and was just like turned around.
When his eyes lit up, he turned right around.
He turned around and
wait for it to bounce off him.
Bounce it off him and then right into his hand.
Well, I
think
think
concentration.
I think 8 out of 10 people in there didn't know that Kane intercepted it. To be honest, I didn't watch it on TV, but I'm sure the cameraman, they're just like panning from side to side looking for the ball.
Yeah,
it's probably one of those. But anyways, good on him. And he had that receiver blanketed. And when you're a smaller guy, you may want to have a little bit of a cushion sometimes. Let your natural athletic ability kind of take over. But just an amazing play. And good on you, bud. Keep working hard, and we're big fans of what you're doing right now.
Yep. Are we worried about red zone coverage or red zone production? Is the word I'm looking for.
A little early in the game, I think you got to put those points on the board when you can get them. Obviously, good teams as a game progresses, tighten up their defense, tighten up their schemes to kind of counteract what the offense is doing, and I think hitting them early and often is a great way. I mean, obviously, it's a recipe for success, but I do think it's really important to even maybe risk some of those plays. Thank God. We finally found a kicker.
Chris Milo. I know. I've been practicing, guys. I don't know if you know that, but I've been practicing really hard.
Yeah.
So if you know anybody that can get me at least a non...
He has one of those...
Florida.
Yeah.
University of Florida is looking for a walk down there.
Right now. Yeah, I mean,
he has one of those Nerf footballs with the whistles on the side. So if you're walking down Somerset and you'll know Mike's out practicing.
Yeah. I'm putting it over the arch. Over the Chinatown arch.
That's amazing, actually.
It'd be amazing. Let's do that.
Can we do that?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I love that. That arch is gorgeous, actually.
It's a great arch. But let me tell you, it's
loser buys dim sum.
It's a cookie cutter arch. I made the mistake of hashtagging the Chinatown arch, and then when I went on Instagram, like every other Chinatown arch looks like that one.
No, I know,
from Boston to San Francisco. I'm like, is this the McDonald's of arches here? But it's still beautiful. I'm not saying it's not beautiful.
And apparently,
I love Chinatown. I live there.
And apparently, it does have it's the amount of elements within the arch.
Yeah.
And this one has more than normal.
Yep.
So it actually is pretty looked at, like highly regarded
it is,
in
actually.
the community, and they're very proud of it.
The amount of pictures they're taking around that thing.
I looked at the donators. I didn't see BleedRedBlacks on the bottom, but one day.
One day. We'll donate. I'll donate.
How about okay.
We got to get
donations? No, I'm joking.
Now that
how much you guys making over there, by the way?
One of those fireworks. It could be an episode of BleedRedBlacks.
That's what we're saying. That's right. Only fireworks on the south side, so the north siders can see them. And then, anyways, business chat. So no, I'm not worried about the red zone production. I don't care. We're off number one offense, number one passing game. We're good to go. Like I said, mad props to Chris Milo, 4 for 4 field goals, 2 for 2 extra points. Another solid effort.
Not going to talk about punting.
Finally, think we've found our kicker.
Yeah.
And even with a team change and limited action this year, Milo currently sits CFL and 6th in the CFL in kicker scoring.
Yeah.
So he's creeping up, and that just says it all right there. Yeah, we're not talking about punting. We're not going to talk about Paul Pfeiffer. I'm concerned, regardless of the way the team plays, though, I got to be honest with you, that the current punting team, I don't know who's going to play. I think it's really going to be our anchor moving forward in the playoffs, and I think we still have a few weeks to sort it out. I know Pfeiffer's a young kid, Canadian kid, and hopefully he can sort himself out. I obviously want him to succeed, but at the end of the day, if there's some kid, I don't even care where he lives, who can kick the ball. I think it's time to start looking at other options, or never stop looking for options. He does have a Canadian passport, though, so that's one thing you got going for you too, Mike.
Yep, that'd be good.
But I don't know if the Nerf whistle balls are
it's not
CFL, but
it's not
CFL approved.
No.
No, Mark Calhoun took all those with him. Yeah, Nerf gate. Actually, you can't deflate a Nerf ball, though, right?
That's right.
Oh, snap.
Oh,
right?
snap.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Idiots of the NFL. Some people on social media, like you said, were concerned with level of effort. Whatever. We won. We're in the playoffs. Life is good. Mike got to eat delicious food courtesy of our friend here. And it was just a great night altogether. It was
amazing.
It was amazing having you guys in here, and you guys can come back anytime. Anytime you have anything you want to promote or just want to come be involved. You guys have been so supportive of us, and moving forward, I'd love to continue this friendship and professional relationship as well. And I got a lot of time for you guys. You guys are awesome people, and I don't have enough good things to say about you guys.
Kobina, where can we find you on Twitter? Because that's the cool place the kids go these days.
It is. Osei Kobina.
Nice.
Do I need to spell it?
No, we're good. We're gonna be at BleedRedBlacks.
Kobina QU, obviously.
We'll make sure we tweet out. We'll tweet at you guys this fantastic episode, so you guys can retweet it and hear it and get it out to your people. So, and Damien.
Oseg Damien.
Imagine that.
Damian.
Excellent.
No E.
Any last plugs here? What do we got before we roll out of here?
Yeah, if you want some season tickets, Get at me.
I like it.
613-232-6767, extension 8408.
Oh, come on.
Oh, this is getting
Beat me to the punch.
Sniped.
I can see the competitive juices going here.
Oh, my word.
Hey,
Kavina
no.
just went to game face mode.
No, you sent me a referral today. Look at that.
That's right, but I didn't need to tell. That's okay. That's what I do. I want to help you guys out too, right? That's going to be a good one, by the way. Just FYI.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
for sure. So.
Excellent. And you'll be getting, my ticket rep will be getting an email from me very shortly. So, yeah, it's awesome.
Do you have a ticket rep?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, her name is, you can find her at OSEG, Kobina.
Amazing.
So I just want to, again, thank you so much, OSEG, for signing the waiver and getting you guys down here. Amazing. An amazing time.
Thanks for having us.
I know, this is awesome. Thanks for coming in. It's awesome.
Keep up the good work, and we got to try to run into you guys more frequently for sure. And
definitely.
Even if we meet up after a game or before the game or whatever, let's keep this relationship going, and when we can party at the Grey Cup parade together.
Definitely. Right. Thanks for doing everything you guys do too to help keep our nation alive and giving them a voice.
Thanks. I mean, we were flattered when we first heard that anyone even listened, to be honest. And we've recently discovered that, maybe more people than we thought listen and actually kind of like too. So that's a huge compliment to us. And obviously Mike and I are learning on the fly here. And we're just trying to provide the best community program / service for our nation as we can, and this sums it all up right here.
This doesn't look like anything that came out of broadcasting school now, does it? We have one guy that I hired, air quotes, hired, that came out of broadcasting school. He's not even here. He's still in school. So Johnny Z, thank you very much, and obviously Mark that produces it. So let's get out of here. Let's go vote, and vote often. So I'm going to try and go vote again. We'll see what happens.
Sounds awesome.
Thanks,
See ya.
Thank you.
Here at Bleed Red Blacks, we love our football, but we also love the music our great city has to offer. It's the Bytown Beats local music spotlight segment on the Bleed Red Blacks podcast. Today's featured artist, Just Poets.
Ganja consuming, always on the move shit, steadily producing, mainly evolution, brainy and confusing, stress we eluding, mind steady blooming, you'll find an every human, whenever you choose it, beat steady booming, jeeps on the loop kit, faith we renewing, barbershop grooming, he say she say stupid, burning and eluding, very unassuming, focus on improving, no need for reviewing, bubblegum chewing, shaking and a moving, pen and pad using, honesty ruling, whatever you doing, hip-hop is the movement, flavors that be brewing, basement evolution, self-revolution, hip-hop, hip-hop, this is real hip-hop, 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 yeah.
What to do when the past is died? All the dope MCs left, or like classified from all the mainstreams and mass and I gonna bring rap back from the afterlife. From those that infected and are hazardous, I resurrected like Lazarus. Better respect it, I mastered this. My every move is swift and smooth like a Shaolin monk. Canada's where my style is from. The flows I do are not always on beat. I'm like a rose that grew from the concrete. I came out of nowhere, my name you don't know it. Fuck the fame, I'm a poet. I try to unravel my existence as I travel the distance. You gotta focus on the good, it's a battle of the mind. I keep a handle on mine. When you face the sun, you leave the shadows behind.
Hip hop, hip hop. This is real hip hop. Hip hop, hip hop. This is real hip hop. Hip hop, hip hop. This is real hip hop. Hip hop, hip hop. This is real hip hop. Yeah, yes, mine is a gift. No need to waste. Ever since birth, I've been bouncing to the bass. A lot of rappers now think they all true. I need to change the pace to set my watch too. It's just peace as I begin to connect to Ganesh just like a Hindu. I'm getting to a place I've never been to, beyond the sin where everything is real true. I'm like a mom now, regulating life with my eyesight bright, reflecting on what it's like with only your sight. Yeah, I do it right. No speculation, no philosophy. I don't know how this deal, so cast it robbing me. Things I can't change, and so I'll let it be. No place to call my own, just like a refugee. A journey called self, you know, it's heavenly. Hip-hop parade, yeah. Hip-hop, that's what we do all day, yeah. Hip-hop parade, yeah. Hip-hop, that's what we do all day, yeah.
Well, you see, where I feel about the music, it can be copied, you know, but it's not copied there. It's the feel. You know, it carry a feel where if you ask plenty musicians, them know it, but them can't do it. So people still searching for this truth here.
Thank you for listening to this week's installment of the Bleed Red Blacks podcast. All musical content used in this podcast is all local Ottawa talent. If you are a local artist wanting to get your material heard on Bleed Red Blacks, send us a message on our Facebook group. Tune in next time, and remember to bleed red black.